So I waited a little while because I wanted to. I was thinking about something real quick about this LeBron and Stephen A. mess that's going around social media, and I come to one conclusion. And now I'm going to be honest. I probably already was leaning towards this conclusion before I even actually came to it fully. But when I see that video, I see the reason why LeBron James is the biggest fraud in the history of sports. That's what I see. I know everyone else has their own deeper opinion on it. The reason why LeBron approached Stephen A. because Stephen A. criticized Bronny James, and people were looking at it from that angle. Stephen A. came out and gave his opinion about, not his opinion, he gave the facts because he was there. He's the one that was approached. But he talked about why LeBron came to him and he addressed it on First Take. But Stephen A. kind of dressed it up, He didn't really, he said he had to address it because his agent or his people called him. The video went viral, so he felt like he had to address it. He said he didn't plan on addressing it, but it went viral, so he felt he needed to. Okay, whatever. But he said something very interesting when he was talking about it on First Take. And this is the only important part of everything that Stephen A. said. The only part that's relevant to me, which adds more credence to my opinion about LeBron, is he said that LeBron can reach him. LeBron has his number. LeBron has, he named Rich Paul, Maverick Hall, all those people, the Clutch Sports people, all have a way to contact Stephen A. Smith. Why didn't LeBron do that? Because LeBron wanted to make it an event. Is this really about LeBron James and Bronny? Maybe it is a small, tiny bit, right? And he knows if I play this angle, the people are going to be on my side because I'm a father, and it looks like a father defending his son. That's what Stephen A. said as well. He said that was not LeBron, the basketball player, that came to me. That was a father. So it dresses up all nicely. And if you believe that angle, then you kind of step back and you fall back. But I'm not buying that angle. This is LeBron once again using Bronny to a much bigger picture, in my opinion. LeBron James and Clutch Sports, they're all playing this performative business because if LeBron really, really wanted to be, as a father, that offended about a sports TV talking head talking about his son in the NBA, criticizing his son, he could have picked the phone up and called Stephen A. and said, hey, yo, just like Stephen A. He's gotten calls before from players when he says stuff on the air. They've reached out to him behind the scenes. LeBron decided he didn't want to do that. He wanted to see him at Staples in front of the home crowd to get that photographic moment. Not only for LeBron, for Stephen A. This is a warning shot to every other person who covers the Lakers, who covers LeBron, who's on these podcasts. That was a warning shot past Stephen A. Smith. Don't talk about Bronny. Don't criticize Bronny. None of you. Don't even criticize me. If you're going to talk about me, you better be talking about me as the greatest of all time. So when you have, that's why if you notice there's a lot of shift in these people on these podcasts, and they're all trying to beef up this GOAT conversation. Oh, LeBron is the best. He scored 50,000 points now. He's the best. He's the greatest of all time. They're trying to really transition everybody to accept the fact that LeBron is the GOAT. That Michael must pass the torch to LeBron now. But the conversation won't die. It won't go away. He wants it to go away. He wants to be known by himself as the greatest of all time. And the fact that it still keeps going on, because some people in the media won't concede to that. There's arguments on ESPN about it a lot. LeBron wants that to go away. He wants to be known as the GOAT. He's like, what else do I have to do? Now, he'd never be the GOAT, not in my eyes, not even top 5. I know I'm going to get crushed for saying that, but I don't care. That's just my feeling. I have my list. He's not in the 5. He's in the 10, but he's not in the 5. But this is not about my list. This is about LeBron playing off the media to put fear in everyone else's mind. Oh, shit, he went up to Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. is seen as, like, I guess, at the top tier. Whatever you believe about Stephen A., you don't like him, you think he's fallen off, you think he's not good anymore. He's still at the top tier when it comes to importance in the sports field. Forget about his politics and what he says politically. No one cares about that. We're talking about sports. He's right at the top, right? And he's number 1 at ESPN. So LeBron says, well, I'm going to take him down a peg, and everyone else is going to follow suit. The trend has already been happening, folks. I mean, like I said, you go listen to the podcast. Some of the guys that are former players who once had different opinions about LeBron have now come around because all those podcast networks are all under probably Clutch Sports. They all want to be in the club. They're former players. They played in the same generation, so they feel like they got to back their guy. It's all orchestrated. It's not genuine. Those guys were more honest when they were playing against LeBron, when they were just getting out of retirement. Now that they've been out of retirement for years, many of them probably don't have as much money as they once had. They want to get in that ecosystem, that LeBron Clutch Sports money-making machine. I mean, LeBron's a billionaire, right? He's pretty much running the business side of things, the connections. If you piss LeBron off, LeBron's dipping his hands in everything. If it's him, Clutch Sports, and others. So if you're on the wrong side of LeBron, you may not get a chance to get any of that pie that's about to go around, that's been going around. So guys are changing their tune. They're not really going hard at LeBron, or even they would be thinking twice before criticizing LeBron. Stephen A., who has FU money in his field, would have the luxury to say, you know what he wanted to say and how he said it. And he criticized Bronny James. Bronny James is an NBA player now. He can be criticized. And the fact that LeBron is going all up to Stephen A's face and saying a bunch of stuff, whatever he said, we don't know because Stephen A didn't want to say it, but he couldn't say it on TV, he said. So it must have been really rough. And the fact that LeBron is doing all that, he's performing. He knows damn well that he ain't that bent out of shape over Bronny over Bronny James like that. Not for on the court. It's not like people say, oh, Bronny is a stupid kid or saying all type of stuff off the court. It's on the court criticism. LeBron ain't getting that crazy over that. No, LeBron understands I'm going to use that for sympathy, get the people on my side, get the fans on my side, because who's going to jump out and say, oh, Stephen A was right, or I see why Stephen A was allowed to criticize him, or what LeBron did was wrong? Nobody. Especially if you're a dad out there, you're be like, yeah, good for LeBron. He stepped up to defend his son. And on the surface, that's what it looks like, and that would be, if that was just that, yeah, we would say good for LeBron for that. But it ain't just that. You got to look past that. This is not about LeBron being upset about Bronny being criticized. This is bigger. This is LeBron playing on that for a bigger picture. And if you think, why would LeBron do that? No. LeBron is a narcissistic person. It's all about him. Everything is about him. That's how he operates. He wants to be the GOAT. He wants everybody, he wants every single person to say LeBron is the GOAT. And he'll do anything and everything to make sure he gets that narrative. I guarantee you, if LeBron would have already been, if everyone, like say 3 years ago, everyone said, like 90% of the public said LeBron's the GOAT. It's done overwhelmingly. He would have retired. He would have left the league. He's sticking around because he wants that title, and he won't admit it. He won't admit it. I want to play with my son, or this, and that. He wants that title now, and they're trying to force it, because what's going to happen is if the Lakers somehow win the NBA title, which is a possibility, right? It might not have been a possibility a couple months ago, but it looks like it might be. There's really no resistance going on in the West or the East. Yeah, you got those couple of young teams like Cleveland, and then you got Thunder in the West. But then the NBA is not going to let the Thunder beat the Lakers. That ain't happening. Not with Luka and LeBron on the court. The NBA is going to tip that scale. LeBron is going to, I say, barring injury, I have to say this, barring injury, the Lakers already have a trip to the finals. Not because I think the Lakers are the best team. I just think the NBA is going to make it happen. They're on the tip of the spurt at the speed here. They're going to force LeBron to get that another title. And if he somehow wins the title with Bronny on the team, first father-son combo to win the NBA title, and it's another layer on LeBron's resume. And I think if he retires after winning the title this year, there's going to be pressure for him to overwhelmingly be the GOAT. They're going to really push it hard. Like I said, everything has to go completely perfect, but the stage is already set. The NBA is ready to hand LeBron the Larry O'Brien trophy. The script is there, folks. I don't think it's going to... I think, like I said, they're not the best team. We might see a Lakers-Boston finals. That's the perfect scenario for the NBA. Celtics-Lakers finals and LeBron winning it. Right? Celtics going to defend their title. Celtics is a really loaded team. That would be another feather in LeBron's cap, beating a highly talented Celtics team. And they will build that narrative up. And that's what they'll do. Right? That's the best case scenario the NBA will want. Celtics Lakers finals. That the ratings will be through the roof. That's what they will want. Now, I think the Celtics are better than the Lakers. And in a realistic series without no NBA interference, Celtics will beat them in 5, maybe 6. But the NBA will tip the scales. And remember, the Celtics won last year, so it's not like it will be. Remember the pressure last year for the Celtics to finally get one with that Tatum Brown duo, and they've been knocking on the door for it, and they've been trying to get there. The pressure is kind of off now for Celtics to win a title because they got it last year. So that same pressure is not going to be there as much. So the NBA won't have a problem screwing the Celtics over for LeBron, because LeBron is the bigger story, the bigger picture. What's more important, LeBron winning another ring? I mean, what's more important to the NBA is LeBron winning another ring, beating another great team, right? Because even though, yes, he beat the Warriors, that's not really talked about as much. Like, no one's like, oh, yeah, LeBron beat the 73-win Warrior, whatever. It's not really that hyped up because that 73 Warrior team was slightly overrated, to be honest. But he's not. He ain't really getting he's not getting the credit for that as much. Like, no one really talks about that. Like, no one hardly talks about the 73 win Warrior team. People still mention the 72 Bulls because obviously they won the title, but the 73 Warrior team, yeah, he beat them. Okay, whatever. But if he beats the Celtics team if the Celtics team going for the back-to-back, and it's more recent, after already scoring 50,000 points and all that other stuff, that's gonna add to his resume, and people are really gonna be convinced. Oh yeah, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. That's what they're gonna say. So the point here is that LeBron's interaction with Stephen A. Smith is much bigger than Bronny James, right? LeBron's been using Bronny James as cover since he's got to the league. And that's just another way of him trying to get sympathy, trying to get fans on his side. And I see right through it. And you guys should see right through it too. Don't fall for the okie doke. Do not fall for the okie doke. I'm telling you right now, LeBron James is the biggest fraud in the history of sports. And that interaction is just more proof that he's a fraud. More proof. Get out of your mind. Get past the whole father-son thing and get past that. Don't think about that because it's not about that. It ain't that. It ain't that. Trust me. I'm telling you. Just look deep into it. Follow along LeBron's career and how he acts. His ultimate goal, what's more important to him right now, is being renowned the GOAT. He wants to be liked. He wants to be named the GOAT by everybody, at least the majority. He wants the media to be on his side. He wants that coverage. He wants everybody to submit. He wants Stephen A. He wants all the people to say, yeah, LeBron's the greatest. He wants all those podcasts of former players. He wants them all to say it. To bow down to the king, and say, you're the GOAT. You're the greatest of all time. Better than Michael, on top of Michael. That's what he wants. And he will not be satisfied until he gets that, even if it means using his own son to help get that narrative pushed. And that's what you saw there at Staples Center. That's what you saw.